All right, engineers, it is a lonely Google meeting for me. 10 o'clock on a Friday morning. I'm going to go ahead and get started anyways. I know I did make it optional, and it appears as though a lot of you, when I'm looking at Code HS, are getting this, understanding these things. So maybe you don't need to be here, but I am going to go ahead and talk about it. So if students haven't done it yet or are struggling over the weekend, that they have a place to start. So the first thing I'll do is I'll review what is this video about. This video is about showing me and demonstrating me the basic abilities of what we've been learning on Code HS. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen here and just remind you what we're working on here. So this document was posted earlier this week. This is your aspect 1 for coding. It says, using a top-down approach to program development, students can use the start function correctly and define and call a function correctly. So you, in your sandbox, in Code HS sandbox, is going to, you're going to learn how to build this. And I posted a video earlier this week on how to do that, how to use your sandbox. But your solution is, or your problem is really simple. It says, using the Code HS sandbox, make sure you see the video how to set that up. Set up a Carol world that looks like this. Carol must pick up all the coins and end in the same location. That's Street 1, Avenue 1, facing east. Your solution must make use of a start function, define and call a function called collect coins, and use a top-down approach of program development. And these are the sections in Code HS that go over all of those. And maybe most importantly, or just as importantly as all the rest, it's got to be less than 25 lines of code long. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example that would solve this problem, but would earn no points for this aspect, right? I'm going to show you why. So here's my bad example. You see, I went into my sandbox and I set up a Carol world just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit run, and we'll see. You speed it up too over here. We'll see that it works. It gets everything done. And it really is a simple solution, right? All I need to do is pick up a ball and move, pick up a ball, boom, pick up a ball and move. Eventually got to turn left and do it all over again. But there's reasons that this would earn no points, right? A, the problem's not too hard to solve by itself, so it's not really a heavy thinking problem in terms of how to pick up those coins. What I want to see is you use those things. So here is the code that achieved that. It has no start function. That's a real simple thing to include, so don't lose a point on that. It doesn't call a function at all. There's no collect coins here. And it's over 28 lines of code long in order to do that. The code that I got to run was 15 lines, I think, with a start function and calling a function. See if you can get somewhere around there. But anyways, the requirement has to be less than 25. So even though that this worked, I wouldn't give a student a point for that because they're not demonstrating the ability to use functions and use top-down thinking, right? So what does that mean? How might you get started? If you can't do something as simple as this, how might you get started? So I'm going to go to the screen here and maybe help you. So here's a picture of what we have. Right, here's Carol right here, and there's my square of coins or my square of tennis balls. And what I want to do is I want to basically repeat the same thing over and over. And the top-down thing is, how am I going to solve this? What do I need to do? What are the big picture problems? Well, basically, if I could create a program that's going to pick up these coins, turn left, pick up those coins, turn left, pick up those coins, turn left and pick up those coins and come back, that's the problem, right? We don't have to think about it as individual small coins and when to turn left. So what I would think is I'm going to define something then that's going to ask that's going to do that. So under my function start, right, using the start function, I'm thinking big picture, the top down. I want to collect coins. Now, how you do this could be an individual solution. No one's solution is going to probably look exactly the same. So depending upon how I'm thinking to write this function, collect coins, right? Maybe it's going to collect coins, and then here I'm going to tell it to turn left. And then it's going to collect more coins. So again, what's happening here? Collect coins hasn't been defined yet, but we'll start on that one. It's going to collect a certain amount of coins. It's going to turn left. It's going to then go and collect the coins again. So this is the function where we're calling the function. Here's where we're going to define it. Okay. So to get you started, what would a collect coin function start to look like? Well, you got to define it first. The function is called collect coins. And what do I want it to do? And again, this is just an example. You might gonna have to tweak it, but I might want it to take ball, so then take that ball and move. Here, take ball, and I think you get the idea here. And move again. So what's different in this case is I'm not telling it to go through individually, take ball, move, take ball, move, take ball, move, turn left at some point, which took 28 lines of code. I'm telling it to do this take ball, move thing once with the function, and then I'm telling it to repeat that procedure when I'm calling that function probably 4 times, right? So that's a start, and this will give it an idea. And remember, I was able to use an approach like this to get it down to 15 lines of code. You need to use a top-down approach, call the start function, create and call a collect coins function, and get it under 25 lines of code. I will check your sandbox this weekend and into next week to look to see if you've done this. But go ahead and get to work on that. Good luck, guys.